Hello and welcome. I almost forgot to turn on the stream and the sound because it is nice weather outside and I was doing some other things on my phone. Yay! Welcome to the first day of spring and to a fucking sweaty Friday with me. So we'll see who will pop by today. I'll just take it easy. I'll stream for an hour, fix me my cup of tea, and right, let's see whether we can sketch some shizzle. I have currently one commission left on my list, depending of course on with reservation of what more comes in, of course. So I'm looking at some references of trees and shit, because I'm going to be doing that. Multitasking. I just closed the window down on my tablet and I want it to look like, bloody hell, where did I put the... So there's a line on it that I already put on, which I'm not going to use. So I'm going to be trying to sketch out some ideas, and the one that I like the most will be turned into a painting of sorts. Oh, technically I should keep track of whether I'm going to paint watercolor or whether I'm going to paint acrylics or oils, but it's too nice a weather today to actually be bothered by those kind of things, so let us not. I like big gnarly trees. Hello Moriar. Yes, Big D needs to do some bank shizzle, finishing up admin for closing the VAT. So from the 1st of January the VAT has been retroactively shut down, which is not bad, which is good, we like. And also means that the bank account associated with it needs to be closed down and stuff. So we're doing that one. Well, not we. He's doing that one. He gets to clean up his own shizzle. Now. So I'm just roughly sketching out what I want to do for this one. Yeah, I know, adulting sucks massively. I had 3 days off and I spent the first day just spring cleaning the house because that's how fucking adult we are these days. And for the past 2 days I've been doing mostly chilling and stuff. But yes. Yeah, it was necessary. I had these couple of days planned for a couple of weeks already, and work has been a bit intense and annoying. I'm not even going to mention the stupidity of my manager on occasion, but it drains energy. things I don't really feel like spending super much time on myself. Like, you know, he shouldn't be worth the energy, but yeah. He is what we call in Flemish a stress chicken and a bit of a micromanager sometimes. Oh, it is so exhausting. The other day there was like an incident on business, on production. It's quite funny. And it's like literally a patch that takes me an hour to write, to deploy, and then whatever. But business needs to give their okay on some content of that patch. And he told me that I wasn't allowed to do anything up until business gave their approval. So I spent literally 1.5 days just, yeah, well, waiting. Yeah, it makes you just go like, dude. So he has no IT experience really. Everything is Stack Overflow or AI. So why do you need developers? But we had 3 days of smashing weather, so it's been awesome to be out with the dogs and just do things. Which is nice. So how are you doing? Any plans for the weekend? I am having a couple of things planned myself. Like fixing up the workspace in the garage, get the table set up for the glass work. I'm quite, you know, chill. It's gonna be a bit worse weather in the coming days, so no barbecue this weekend. But that's okay. Yeah. It's usually the best way to get the house clean is have people over. Yeah, I've decided that, you know, the stained glass thing is, you know, something we're going to do anyway. Combination with a little kiln for melting glass and ceramics, and see where it goes from there. I already have shitloads of designs, and it's not super expensive to start up. I mean, you need glass, which we can find plenty of. A glass cutter, which is, yeah, you can get super fancy ones, but they're like, you know, I don't need a Rolls Royce, I just need something that cuts. That's like, I don't know, 10 euros. And the most expensive bit is like the sander grinder for, you know, dulling the edges of the glass, but that one is like 80 euros or something, so it's not like insurmountable amounts of money. It's mostly going to be a case of finding the space and setting up the space. But yeah, I already have a couple of ideas of, like, you know, Warhammer logos were already requested by several people, like, you know, an orc skull, well, the orc glyph. I know that wasn't just me. And the Slaneshi symbol. And I think they kind of translate nice to a stained glass square. Chaos Undivided is also an interesting one. So yeah, you know, people want like, you know, remarkable loads of Warhammer stuff coming in. I have had a couple of friends who weren't like, you know, willing to pay for the materials and go like Super Mario stuff like Toad, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Give me your ideas and I'll see what I can do. It's a bit different, which is nice. It's also been nice to take a break from sketching in general, because that meant that the times that I picked up my sketchbook, it's really because of wanting to. So yes. Also, there is something, you know, the pagan in me kind of appreciates perverting a bit something that is so quintessentially associated with churches, like stained glass windows, and to turn it into like extreme pagan stuff or things that are just so profane that, you know, a priest would have conniptions, because I am childish like that a bit much. I was in a type of boarding school that was run by nuns, so that tells you enough already. Yeah, it's, you know, variety is the spice of life, I think. I think it's been the past year so much focus on everything studio-wise that it's, you know, been little time for anything else. And that's, you know, not per se a bad thing, but there have been moments where I've, you know, did pre-sketches for Dee in order to help him go like, okay, are these things you can work with or not? And then, are these good ideas, you know, and those kind of things. And not that I mind helping, but it's just doing something because you want to do it and doing something because you have to do it is two different things. I have to do my job because, you know, too young to retire, too chubby to strip, too poor to quit. Right, my sister just sent me a message. She wants to go check for a bike, like a motorcycle. Oh my god. She hasn't decided yet which one she wants. It's between 2 or 3 that it's kind of stuck right now. We're definitely not a conventional family, but that's okay. I think Red rides his motorcycle more than he drives a car, because with traffic here in Belgium it's just an easier way to get through. So yes, I am sketching up a central focal point tree, roughly. Why? Because the commission bit was, and I could take my time for this one, was Fairy Tale Forest. So I was thinking to have, instead of masses of trees, start with one tree as a focal point. Roughly sketched out, and then we'll see what gives. I'm thinking to make it at night. So we have a central tree, the moon, trees in the back, and then lots of white creatures in between. Roots, bloody roots, to quote the almighty Sepultura. A little path. Right, let let me do the roots first and then the other trees, and then see whether I like it or whether I'm gonna go like, I don't like it, and just toss it. Right. So first day of spring here, we have smashing weather. You can hear that it's spring because birds are waking up and making all their calls for, oh, God damn it, for, you know, finding a sex mate, which is kind of funny. People go like, oh my God, so nice, spring's here, the birds are singing, and they're just either shouting like, stay out of my territory, or they're going like, hi, I'm horny, wanna shag. It's kind of funny. When you have sweet nans going like, oh, it's so nice that the birds are singing. Yeah, I bet it is. Bloody horn dogs. And the only reason why birds are singing is like, you know, stay the hell out of my territory. I'm looking at robins here. And any other birds is just going like, you know, night at the Roxbury's. Good that you will never think of it in any other way again. I like to ruin things for people. Might do a little stair here. Might. Und jetzt more trees. Trees. I'll do a smaller one here. This one can be here, a tree, here. This feels very Bob Ross. I put it on accident. Earlier I saw a little meme with Bob Ross where was Bob Ross painted in like black and white in a military uniform saying like, oops, it's a happy little war crime, which is kind of funny because it immediately made me think Canada, because I have a friend who is a veteran and she used to be a nurse in the Marines, and Canada has as an unofficial motto, it's only a war crime if you do it twice. And that one immediately made me think, oh look, Canada. And it's bad, I know, but funny. Yeah, but it's kind of funny because I never perceived Canada to be that bad. I know Canada has a horrible track record with, you know, indigenous rights and those kind of things. Do not get me wrong. Canada is more than, you know, hockey, Tim Hortons, and, you know, I'm sorry. And I know quite a fair share of Canadian people, friends with a couple of them. But the war crime bit really just made me go like, what? And then if you talk to Canadians, they go like, oh yeah, no, we're not proud of it, but it's not wrong. Okay. Thank you. Didn't need to know that one. let's just make this one into a happy little tree. Let's channel the inner Bob Ross. Now, what I'm trying to say with that one is, nobody's holier than thou. I mean, look at Belgian history and, whatever you do, do not mention Congo is kind of the rule here. So, yeah. I'm thinking to maybe do a mixed forest, coniferous and just pine, no, coniferous are pine trees and just normal arboreal leaf trees, but I'm not sure. If I mix it, it becomes very Scandinavian, well, southern Scandinavia. If I don't mix it, it's just coniferous, it's going to be very, very much tundra. And if it's just non-coniferous, it's going to be very, very much southern. I like the idea of mixing things though. I'm not sure yet. If I'm going to paint it like this, I'm going to need a quite big canvas though, I think. Which is not bad, but it's canvas or piece of paper. And it needs to be at least an A2 because it's going to have to be at least a bit bigger than this. 4 times ish. Ah, it's big. I haven't committed to this one yet, so I'm not sure. It's kind of funny because I'm working in red and you really don't really see anything on the stream. Well, not much. Sorry for that. I like to work with reds because they give a sensation of not having committed yet. That is a bit the downside with this commission. It was a very loose frame, like fairy tale forest with like several of the creatures how I usually paint them, in between the trees. And that's nice and stuff, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, do I go for a Patagonian forest? Do I go for a contemporary English one? Do I go for jungle? I mean, giving an artist freedom is nice, but sometimes, we like a bit of guidance, just because, anxiety choice. I rather work with people who have a clear idea on what they want than the vague, like, oh yeah, paint me a dog, or paint me, whales. But that's just my preference. I can work with all, don't get me wrong. It's just client who knows exactly what he wants is also easier because you can deliver exactly. Person who goes like, yeah, fairy tale forest, and it's kind of vague, usually already has an idea in mind anyway. But it's a friend, so I'll allow it, fine. I get points to compensate for additional pains and stress anyway, so. I mean, if I have a choice of a forest to really go like, you know, fairy tale forest, I think I would go for either like a proper Scandinavian one with like moss boulders and stuff in between, or like a northwestern Pacific, a redwood like forest, because those ones are so dark you just know that Sasquatch is hiding somewhere. Is Sasquatch from that area or is he more Appalachian? I can't remember. I'll look it up in my cryptic reference book somewhere, because I love cryptids. It is funny. Let's put a happy little bush here. That sounds so wrong, I know. Alright. Yes, connect charger. I know, I need to charge you, but that is... You still have battery, so cut it out. Right. I should actually make this one a bit smaller from a perspective of... Yeah, whatever. Not today, Satan. On the other hand, pine trees are extremely easy to paint. We've seen Bob Ross. Just take your little fan brush and paint the night away. It's going to be a couple of smaller ones here, 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 and here. Makes me think Over the Hedge, if you have ever seen that movie, when they're going to attack or, you know, rob the house of the home association lady. They indicate where all the lasers are, and it's like here, 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 couple of here, big one here, deadly one here, for about 5 minutes or so. Alright, that's just big bundles of this one. My favorite bit is still when the squirrel drinks the cola. Now it's like, yeah, this movie is made by someone who has hyperactive children. I think I might be able to work with this one. It's an underestimated movie. I think people are also a bit used to everything being Disney, and that one was definitely not a Disney movie. Which is good. I'm just trying to look at several images of trees separately and see how I can fit them together in something that works. This is like, I don't know, the third or fourth iteration of this one that I'm already doing, because I just don't seem to be able to get it right. I was first thinking doing things in a landscape format because that one seemed fun. And I was like, yeah, but it's a landscape, and why do it in landscape? Why not play with conventions? Hence, you know, yeah. The panic setting in, like, give me directions. It's half an hour. Let's see whether I can get something of an idea worked out. And I can go like, can I work with this? Next time, you know, I get suggestions like this, I'm just gonna go like, you know what? Just go for like a cactus forest in the desert. That's a whole lot easier. So I like cactuses, so there is more affinity with the subject. I'm also deliberately not over defining things, because that's not the point of this one. I need to get rough shapes and composition down to something that I can work with. So yes. Yeah, I always liked cactuses ever since I was like 3 or 4 years old. My uncle, who passed away way too early, he gave me a big cactus thorn that he had casted in resin, and it was like really big. It was like literally like this big, a hockey puck almost, with like a ginormous thorn in it. Lovely thing. Almost looked like a spider. It was really cool, and that kind of kicked my my interest in anything cacti. The jumping ones are annoying. Then they don't make good pets neither. There is a big greenhouse around Brussels, the Royal Greenhouse, and they have an entire area just dedicated to cactuses, and they have a couple of those ones, and they're hell to actually keep in a greenhouse. I think I currently have like let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pure cacti in the house, and then I have a bunch of succulents and more desert-like plants, because they're easier to maintain than Also, the cats won't eat cactuses. Yeah. Yeah, and they kind of have like, most of them tend to have like little barbs on their spikes. But those ones are, yeah, they really get stuck in fur. And or clothes of people visiting the greenhouses. Because a big sign saying like keep your distance, please don't touch is difficult for people. It's kind of the same as like Yellowstone and Yosemite, where I'm sorry, white people, we're to blame. The amount of people trying to pet buffaloes when there's a big sign saying like leave the bloody animals alone. I think a native content creator that I follow is a really nice artist went like, well, now that they let the entire park services go, expect to see more white people get trampled by buffalo. Oh yeah, the hot springs gate, on that one I never understood. You just go like, it's super boiled water that comes out. Why would you want to be close? You stand 20 meters away from those ones and you already can feel how fucking hot they are. But we're talking about the same type of people that if they would visit like things like the Grand Canyon or something, would try to lean over the edge and stuff. In the UK and on specific parts of Ireland as well, you have like the White Cliffs of Dover. Those really dramatic white cliffs that just cut down. And there are specific parts where the wind is on top of it is so hard that you can technically just Michael Jackson moonwalk, lean into the wind. And lots of people do that one, and it's a fun thing to do, but not at the edge of the cliff. Every year people just drop down there, and it's a fair 150 meters, splat. Because they think, oh my god, the wind blows here so strong, I can do that one on the edge, and it's funny. And you just go like, yeah, but wind has, calm periods as well, you idiots. Yeah, Darwin Awards, absolutely. I'm so happy I'm not a first responder in those areas because how are you supposed to comfort family when all you can think of is like, yeah, it's sad that it happens, but I'm sorry, miss, your son was stupid. Don't poke the little octopus with blue rings. Everyone knows that, there's so many examples that just make me go like, I, I'm not certain. People go like, yeah, it happens more lately because of lack of education. I don't think it happens more lately. I just think we see it more because people film everything all the time. I mean, I can imagine in the 40s and 50s, stupid things like that happened as well, but the difference was nobody was usually around to film it or witness it. Here currently we have in a neighborhood we have a little neighborhood in the we have a forest nearby, and that one is maintained by a non-profit organization which I'm a member of, and they in order to keep specific parts of the forest and the meadows around it, you know in the right condition, they have like goats and sheep that they put out to maintain. And here they put out Galloway cows, the Scottish Highland cattle. The one that everyone goes like, oh my god, they're so cute. Yeah, sure. And they have to put a big fuck off sign saying like, do not pet the cattle. They are wild animals. And yeah, last week we saw some idiots in the meadow with them trying to take photos. And then I'm just going like, you know what? You asked for it yourself. I'm not even going to interfere, as long as, you know, the animal will mark when it's in distress, and, you know, if you didn't get trampled or, you know, shish kebabbed on the horn, Tompi, you looked for it. And as sad as it is, I feel sad for the animals because they didn't ask for this stuff, but yeah. Might just do a path instead of a stair, because it makes no sense to have a stair in the middle of a forest. But with some smaller trees, I think I can work with this. I can work this one up, I think. No, that's too big. It needs to be small tree. Small, Tasha, small. Jesus. Small tree. Small-ish tree. I think I can work with this one if I put anything moon-like there. Do I have... I don't have my compass here because Peanut stole it. Bastard. A cup, it works. To give an idea, yes, I think I can work with this one. That means a gradient from dark blue green up to lighter blue around the moon, big moon. Most trees will be black, but that's all dark grey. Put some shrubberies of stuff there. It's gonna be a tree thingy here. I don't hate the idea, but I need to have the forest or the background set first before I'm doing anything else, simply because it's easy to lose myself in all the critters I'm going to design. Yeah, it was kind of funny, you know, talking about thievery. The other day, he comes downstairs and I just look at him and go like, dude, that's my t-shirt. That's a band that I like. Why are you wearing my band t-shirt? And apparently, you know, laundry got done, everything got put in one big pile, and, you know, he just thought, oh, that's all mine, and he just took it, and, you know, or, you know, let's be honest, Dee gave him the pile and went like, here, put your clothes away, and didn't check. And I'm like, okay, funny, haha, I'll wash the t-shirt, you know, it's okay, don't do it again. Day after he comes downstairs, he's wearing another one of my band t-shirts, and I'm like, come on, you know. Becomes a thing by now. Third day he comes downstairs wearing my Prince t-shirt, and I'm like, okay, dude, what the hell? Now we're gonna go through your cupboard and literally all things get removed. Now the fun bit was, of course I didn't go through the cupboard because I had other things to do. And yeah, I can just wash the shirt, it's not the end of the world. But it was more of like, dude. Fourth day he comes downstairs, he's wearing one of David's shirts. And I'm like, oh, it's not one of mine, just go for it. Soon he makes his own monies and he can buy his own t-shirts and whatever. And then we can steal them. So when you ever think that, you know, as a woman having sons only will stop them from stealing your clothes, yeah, not really. The eldest went like, yeah, I'm not 100% into everything being male and masculine, so, you know, he borrows shirts and stuff of mine. I'm just going like, oh, hi, Mom, I had to go to a party, borrowed a pair of your earrings. What? Okay, sure, can I make sure I get them back? Because by then it's usually too late to start an entire discussion about what's appropriate and what isn't. So yes. Damn wokeness, they ruined traditional family structures. My children are stealing my earrings. Well, one of them is. There are worse things in the world than that one. It's just hilarious in some way. And go like, did I annoy my parents like that? I was never that annoying. No, I never did those things. But they are getting big because my dad has, for instance, he has some issues with the electricity, and yeah, I don't touch electricity. No. In the car, maybe, but just electricity in general, no, I call a specialist for that one. But Peanut is starting to become a welder, but he actually did a couple of years of studying to become an electrician at school. So things like changing light switches and electrical outlets, he knows how to do. So he was last weekend and is going to do the same this weekend, replacing a couple at my dad's. And it's kind of weird to stand there and just go like, my son is helping his granddad with the electricity, and that gives a sensation of either very proud, but also like, hold a sec. What? You know, you're not supposed to, but you can, and I'm old. The good thing is, it means no longer I need to do those things, though. But yeah. I also found out that he's exactly like his granddad, because the moment he does anything in the house that needs to be done like chore-wise, or like, he curses like, hey motherfucker, oh my god. I was standing in the kitchen with him and the constant bickering, oh fucking screws, no, why isn't it working? God damn it, I need to solder this one, god damn it, it was really like, I was saying, like, you are channeling your grandfather so much. If you bring out the duct tape now, I will be scared. Because that was my dad's go-to thing to fix things, duct tape. So yes. The joys of middle-aged hood or some shit. Not that I care, just means, less responsibility. I can work with this. I think I can actually work with this. I am shooketh, I tell you. At a specific point, they had a humidity problem in the kitchen, so the wiring really needed to be replaced, which got done. but then not in the actual outlets. That's where the wiring still had to be replaced, and that was Peanut's doing. So the old wiring was there, and you could actually see at specific points where it was blackened because of, you know, and that's why the fuse blew. So he removed those ones, and then, you know, new cables, and then, you know, you need to connect everything. And at a specific point, things were cut a bit too short, and he needed to solder them. And that was the moment where he went like, "Mom, can you help? You're better at this than I am." I'm like, "Fine, it's gonna cost you." But yeah, duct tape. Oh my god, my dad has. My dad was at a specific point no longer allowed to build IKEA flat packs with us, because he, in the middle of everything, went like, "Screw this! I'm fetching my power drill and my screwdriver." He went like, "You don't need to." "Yeah, it doesn't fit." So he would just put extra screws, or, you know, drill extra holes in it, and we just went like, "Yeah, that's good if it's your flat pack, Dad, but we bought it, it's ours, so no." So he was no longer allowed to. So usually I call my sis, and my sis calls me to do these things. I don't call D, because, you know, even though he's from the country, but no. Last time I let him do that one, he assembled parts of a bed backwards, and I went like, "See, can you now just admit that this is not your forte? You might speak the language, but not flat back." I think maybe I should put, I like the idea of having a single tree in the forefront. That's a bit more different than the rest. I like that idea because it stands out. I could do that one in like silver, silvery, and then have lots of small creatures popping up a bit in between the trees and also climbing this tree. Like from gnomes to little dragons and more. I think I can work with this one. I wasn't certain when I began with it, but yeah, this is like the rough composition. Because if I make it 4 times as big on the canvas, then I can easily paint those ones, and then just gently add small creatures wherever I can. I think I can easily put like 30-ish small creatures in there. It's doable, but I cannot have it have leaves though. Yeah, my initial thought was to just have a landscape, and then I had like trees, lots of trees, which would work as well, but I don't know, it just felt done already. Ooh, excuse me. Fields of fox should be barren. If things start growing in on them, nuke it. Or salt. Yes, not salt of the earth, no, salt the earth. Which is a very funny anecdote to tell, and then I'm going to log out because then I've been at it for now. In my teens, I did lots of archaeology stuff, because, you know, I knew several archaeologists, and you can actually go on like summer camps that are archaeology. So I have excavated weird shit, like, you know, a monastery here in Belgium, and other weird shit, cemeteries and so on. But at a specific point when I was 14, or so, I went to Tunisia. And we were digging up old Punic settlements in the desert for like 4 to 5 weeks. And one of the things we did, you can only dig so much in the sand before going like, ugh, boring, especially with teenagers. So we went to visit the capital, Tunis, which is the old Carthage. And I, as a person who studied Latin, had always been told that, you know, the Romans destroyed Carthage, like literally nuked it, and then salted the earth so nothing could grow. Yet the site of old Carthage is one of the greenest areas in Tunis there is, because apparently after like 1,000 years or so, the salt that you actually spread out, you know, kind of leaks away and leaves minerals and so on. So it actually became fertilized.
I am alive. Stop talking about me.
Quick change the subject.
Quick change the subject.
That's the concept for Laura's painting, with the lot of small whimsical creatures in between.
Nice.
But I'm going to put it on the canvas, I think 4 times the size.
Okay. Yeah.
How was Bank?
Bank was Bank. It was Bank.
It was Bank.
It was Bank. Bank is fixed.
Okay.
Bank dude talks loads.
I know, he's every time I enter there, he knows I work for Argenta, and then I get like an entire spiel from...
It was a lot of
complaining about
gossip. I have gossip, but complaints maybe
about the system.
Not about the system, about how things are working out at the company right now and how it affects the small offices.
Alright. Anyways, I've done my hour, and it was not as sweary, but you know, thank you for the company.
Fuck yeah.
I have a concept I can work out, and I'm going to paint this one out on canvas, and then we'll see how it gets. Might keep you company while you're doing streams on Mondays and Fridays or something. So, have a good weekend. Enjoy, recharge the batteries.
Yes.
Keep that field of a fox as barren as possible, and you know, see you on Monday or on Sunday.
Or on Sunday.
Alright. Toodles.
Bye.